again welcome to geography class. In this class we are going to see the next chapter from geography. Today this is 12th Feb 2021. Here in this part we are going to discuss the notes of second chapter. So slide number 2 is representing the notes of chapter number 2 and the topic of revision. Chapter number 2, Physical Features of India. Let's see the notes. On 12th Feb, we are going to see the notes of the chapter number 2 from Geography. Name of the chapter is Physical Features of India. Let's proceed. First, we are going to see the introduction of the chapter. India is the vast country with a varied landform, that's mountain, plain, desert, plateaus, islands. All the physiographic features are formed on the basis of the plate tectonic. This part has been removed from your syllabus, but only for your information I am just telling there is a assumption of the plates are there. That's a plate tectonic theory. Due to the movement of the plates, the fold, falls, convergent, divergent, this type of movements used to happen and these type of physiographic features used to form. Next, India is a large landmass formed during different geological periods which has influenced her relief, as I was talking about the plate tectonic theory. Next, we are seeing the major physiographic division. In our regular video also, I explain you about the major physiographic division in a detailed point, but here we are taking in a gist in a note wise. So these notes are very important. Please copy down these notes. Point number 1, the Himalaya mountain. Second, the northern plain. Third, Peninsular Plateau. Fourth, Indian desert. Fifth one, that's a coastal plain, and the last one, that's the islands. So this 6 physiographic division we are going to see in a detailed one. Let's proceed. First, the Himalayas. The Himalayas are geologically young and structural fold mountain. So Himalaya mountains are called as the young and fold mountain. They stretch across the northern border of India. They are the longest range in India, covering an arc shape, and it's about 2,400 kilometers. Next point, these mountain range run in the west-east direction from Indus to Brahmaputra. So the rivers are mentioned here, the Indus to Brahmaputra. Okay, Indus in Jammu and Kashmir we can speak, and it's moving like this up to the Brahmaputra, that means Arunachal Pradesh. The Himalaya consists of 3 parallel range in its longitudinal extent. So what are they? Soon we are going to see in the upcoming slide. The northmost Himalaya range is known as Greater Himalaya or Inner Himalaya or Himadri. The 3 names are mentioned here. They are Greater Himalaya, Inner Himalaya or Himadri. Himadri, the reason why, because they are almost covered with the snow. Him means ice. It is continuous range with an average height of 6,000 meters. It contains all the prominent Himalayan peaks. Next, the core of this part of Himalaya is composed of granite. Himachal, that is called as the Lesser Himalaya also, to the south of Himadri. First range is Himadri, and second range is Himachal, and the last one is the Shivalik one. The altitude in the Lesser Himalaya, that means the Himachal, varies between 3,700 to 4,500 meter, and the average breadth is 50 kilometers. The Pir Panjal range from the longest and the most important ranges in the Dholdhar and the Mahabharata range are also prominent ones here. The range consists of the famous valley of Kashmir, Kangra, and Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. Next, Shivalik. This is the third range. The outermost range of Himalaya is called as Shivalik, and they extend over 10 to 15 km wide and having the altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meter. The longitudinal value lies between the lesser Himalaya and the Shivalik are known as Doon, just like Kotli Doon, Patli Doon, Dehradun, and so on. These ranges composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by the river. The Himalayas have also been divided on the basis of the regions from west to east. These regions have been demarcated by the rivers valley. So we are going to see about the demarcate by the rivers valley. So here Punjab Himalaya, Kumaon Himalaya, Nepal Himalaya, Assam Himalaya. Right? The river dividation is given here. In our regular video only we had explained relation for this part we had seen. So let's once again quickly revise it. Punjab Himalayas, that is lying between from the Indus to Satluj. Kumaon Himalaya between Satluj to Kali. Nepal Himalaya from Kali to Tista. Assam Himalaya between Tista to Dihang River. There are some regional names also of the Himalayas. Okay. Next, moving further to see about Purvanchal, that means the eastern hill. As the eastern side of our country there are hills, they are known as the Purvanchal. These hills runs through the northeastern side, are mostly composed of sedimentary rocks covered with the dense forest. The Purvanchal consists of the Patkai Hills, Naga Hill, Manipur Hill and Mizo Hill. Next, Northern Plains. This slide is representing about the figure and facts related to the Northern Plain. The Northern Plain has been formed by the interplanes rolls of the major three rivers, that is the Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus. Alluvial soil is there. It's spread an area of 7 lakh square kilometer, then 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad, and densely populated with the rich soil, adequate water supply and favorable climate, which is very helpful for India for the agriculture, which give the boosting to our productivity of agriculture. And these plains are divided into three. So northern plain is divided Punjab Himalaya, Ganga plains and Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. So first Punjab plain, the area of Punjab plain, the western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab plain, formed by the Indus and its tributary. A large part of these plains lie in Pakistan. Thus Indus and its tributaries, the name of the tributaries are mentioned here, already we had seen. Next, Ganga plain, right? Ganga plain extends between the Ghagra and Tista river, and it's a spreading area, that is means spread it from Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal. And Brahmaputra plain lies mostly in Assam. The division of the northern plain on the basis of relief features of mountain. So in that 4 features are there. Already we had seen in our explanatory video. That's why I'm not going into detail. You just go through the slides and you will get to know about the names of this. First one is the Bhabar. Second one is the Tirai belt. Right? First Bhabar, then Tirai belt, then Bangar and Khadar. What the type of question will come from this already explained to you in the revision classes, also in regular class also. That means the differentiate between Khadar and Bangar, the new and the older alluvial soil. Next, Peninsular Plateau. Another physiographic feature of India's Peninsular Plateau. What are Peninsular Plateau? It's a table land composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rock. And how it's formed already it's given here. Just have a look at it. Then its division. First the Central Highland, and after that the Deccan Plateau. In that we are going to talk and discuss about the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, which are very important. In the short note also it can be us write a short note on the Central Highland. Then you have to mention about the area, the location and extension of the Central Highland. Next, up to the 10 points are given here, so please see it. All the 10 points are important. From first, the part of Peninsular Plateau lying in the north of the Narmada River, covering the major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as Central Himalaya. The Central Highlands. The Chota Nagpur Plateau marks through the eastward extension and is drained by the Damodar River. Then the Deccan Plateau. Next, this is very important, the Western Ghat. The differentiation between the Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat. Please see all the points which I mentioned here and copy down this point. These points are very important for the Western Ghat. Then this for the Eastern Ghat. Just I am reading out for you. The Western Ghat lies parallel to the western coast. They are continuous and can only be crossed through the passes. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The average elevation of these ghats are 900 to 1600 meter as against 600 meter of the Eastern Ghat. The height of the Western Ghat progressively increased from north to south. The highest peak is here, that's Annai Modi. Okay, that you can mention in the differentiation. Next, moving for the Eastern Ghat. The Eastern Ghat same like that, stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south, and they are discontinuous. And the why? Because of the river, they are draining their water into the Bay of Bengal. And Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghat. There are hill stations also, popularly known as Uti and all. Next, moving further to see the further point. The average height is also mentioned here, so you have to mark any 6 points which are important in your mind, and whenever it is going to be asked, you have to write that. Again I am repeating it. First location, then continuous, then it is going to be have discontinued, then its height you can mention, then after about the peak. Here Annai Modi is there and here peak is Mahendragiri. In this way you have to place the differentiation. Moving further, then the Indian desert. The Indian desert is also called as a Thar desert. In examination also I had given this question, write a short note on Indian desert. So by seeing the answer, it's clearly one from the Google, you are copying the answer and writing here. Whatever given in the textbook you are not writing. Marking scheme is prepared on the basis of the textbook language only. First, the Indian desert. The Indian desert lies towards the eastern margin of the Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plains covered with sand. So here, specific features, its location you have to mention. After that, less rainfall, high temperature, and the climate, low vegetation, then streams, then the Luni is the large river here, right? And the sand dune shape. These all 8 points, you please remember it, and whenever it is going to be asked for 5 marks, mention any 5 and explain into detail one with a proper sentence formation. Then this is the second last topic here, the coastal plain. So here we are saying the coastal plain. So in that we are having the western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. So the Peninsular Plateau is the flank by stretch of narrow coastal strip running along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal on the east. So, eastern coastal plain and western coastal plain. Just like the western coastal plain, we are going to see, it's like a sandwich between the Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea in a narrow plain. It consists of three sectors. And what are they? That means the Konkan, then central stretch that is called as Kannad plain, and the last one is the Malabar coast. Konkan coast, Kannad coast and Malabar coast. And nonsense in when we are talking about the eastern one, the plains along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level, and the reason why, because of the rivers, right? Northern Sekar, while the southern part is called as Coromandel coast. The large rivers such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna have formed extensive deltas on this coast, and Lake Chilika is an important feature along the eastern coast. Next, moving further to see about the islands. So already we are knowing about the two islands. India has the two groups of islands. Lakshadweep Islands group is lying closely to the Malabar coast of Kerala. The group of islands is composed of small coral islands. The name earlierly was placed in our regular video. We had seen in MCQ, it can be asked to you, so go through it. Kavarati is the capital of that. What are the flora and fauna is there, right? Please see this slide very properly. The islands, first is the Lakshadweep, second one is the Andaman and Nicobar. Then Andaman and Nicobar. So next, Andaman and Nicobar, they elongate chains of the islands located in the Bay of Bengal, extending from north to south, are Andaman and Nicobar. They are bigger in size and more numerous and scattered compared to Lakshadweep. When you are going to see the map number 10 in your textbook, you can clearly understand about the physiographic division of India. Please go through the map so you can have a crystal clear information related to physiographic division of India. They are bigger in size, and the entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories. First one is the Andaman in the north and Nicobar in the south. That's why the name has been given Andaman and Nicobar Island. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. Okay? These islands are great strategic importance for the country. There is a great diversity of flora as well as fauna on these islands group. These islands lie close to the equator and experience the equatorial climate and have thick forest covered. So by having the comparison of the Andaman and Lakshadweep, first this one of the Lakshadweep, please make all the points in a systematic way about the area, about the specific feature, about the name and division, and like that Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So island is also over. We have seen the physiographic division of India with its introduction part. Next, your job is to do the revision for 2-3 points. First, the features of Himalayas mountain, then the features of northern plain, then the features of Indian desert and central highland and peninsular plateau. After that, differentiation between the Khadar and Bangar, and differentiation between the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. Lastly, I am summarizing this and leaving the point up to you. Please note down, copy down this all important points, and the chapter should be clear by doing this activity. Thanking to each and everyone. Jai Hind to one and all.